Ger, how are you? Come in to see you. How's the form? Will you sit down and have a chat with me here? So Ger is the team services manager. Can you tell us what that entails, Ger?
Well, team services, there's a group of us in HQ in the IRFU, and we're all about organising the operations of our teams. Every little detail in terms of planning is key to what we do.
Can you go into a bit more detail? What does that mean? Is it planning the schedules, hotels, flights? Is that what that entails?
Well, if you take the national team, for example, we start to plan the operation of the national team probably a year to 18 months out. And what that means is we'd start to look at hotels, book rooms, look at training venues, look at the logistics in terms of if we need flights, and all those sort of detail in terms of planning in advance, so that we have the right rooms, the right function space that we need for the team to operate.
Do you get a lot of cooperation with the travel companies and the airports and bus companies, all that stuff? If something goes wrong, you're the one that has to sort it out, isn't it?
Well, the way it works is, we've got a number of different staff who are responsible for those areas. For example, in team services, we'd have Cian Healy who'd look after all of our hotels, Cian Healy who'd look after everything in terms of airports and flights and booking all of those. It's my job really to coordinate the needs of the team to them, and then they go off and they work with the various different authorities and suppliers. But yeah, you're right, it's key that works efficiently, and we would get great support from the DAA and Dublin Airport in terms of fast tracking the guys through, sending the bags out in advance so that we're not queuing up to check bags in, and been fast tracked through security to get the guys there in an efficient manner. Then the other side, depending on where we're going, we get great support typically from the countries we travel to in terms of, again, fast tracking that through, having trucks available to move our freight. And again, we try and make it as easy as we can on the players, so that ultimately, we might be travelling vast distances, so we try and ensure that runs very, very smoothly.
Can we go over and have a look at one of these schedules, Ger? Take us through it. Just give us an example of the daily schedule.
Well, this is the daily schedule which typically we would issue to the players every day, and it lists everything from hydration testing, which the boys typically do on a Tuesday and Friday of a Saturday game, into when they assemble for their squad meeting where the coaches do the coaching, then into the pitch where obviously they train. It would list all their meal times. If you go into dress codes, you can see there that we would list what they have to wear in terms of the colour of jersey, media, if they're wearing tracksuit, or what colour polo it is for that particular day. So we detail all of that.
So they know where they have to be. Here are the times here. Here's the activity, and here's the venue. And
there's some housekeeping items there as well, when laundry is going to be collected, which is coordinated through Rala, and some other things that might be coming down the track. For example, what they might need to keep for the weekend for a match. There might be a specific dress code that we're going to use on a match day, and again, we'd give them a heads up on that so they can manage their laundry.
So no excuses to be late or have the wrong gear on?
Absolutely, like you, Quinny, when you played, always
on time.
Always on time and always in the right gear.
Thanks, Ger. As you can see after chatting to Ger, the planning, the attention to detail that goes into putting everything together for the players, the behind the scenes stuff, the facilities, the schedules, the gear, everything that goes into that planning. Now it's up to the players to go out and perform themselves on Saturday against Australia. Cian, we had a chat with Ger Carmody there about the facilities, his role. Is that an important part of the individual player to make sure everything is right behind the scenes for you to go out and play the games?
Yeah, it's one of those things we don't really see nor hear of, and everything's just done and everything's ready to go, and kind of the pitch is in great nick, the rooms are all ready, and the physio room and function room for getting training sorted and all is all there. So all that sort of work goes on without us knowing, but it's pretty big help to us.
You spend a huge amount of the time of your time throughout the year away in hotels and away in camps, don't you? So that it's obviously important that all that stuff is sorted and right for you.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of to have area boxed off for chilling out and stuff is big when you can't get home after training or anything like that, and somewhere we're able to sit down and watch telly together or alone or whatever. So it's a nice thing that they have sorted.
Moving on to the matches, a massive couple of weeks ahead for yourself personally and the team, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 big games left now, and we set off nicely on the Simone, and we're kind of looking to follow on that and up the intensity and have the same sort of display.
there's certainly room for improvement after the Samoan game. I'm sure that's stuff you've worked on this morning and on the video and stuff like that. Certainly you'll need to tighten up in some areas to try and get a result in the next 2 weeks, starting with Australia on Saturday, which is a huge challenge.
Yeah, that's Joe's thing. You know, he has us tightening up on everything and having all the finer detail right and kind of skills and
that's something that people mention about Joe Schmidt. It's that attention to detail, isn't it, for the individual player and for the group?
Yeah, he's big on that, like having everything right and knowing your stuff, you know, because ball handling, things like that, they're all going to come naturally. They're what's with the players. So when you know everything, it's a lot easier to do the rest.
You missed out at playing against the Australians this summer. That must have been hugely disappointing. You've been, hopefully for yourself personally, an opportunity this week. There's been a lot said about their set piece and particularly their scrum. I'm sure they won't. They'll be aware of that too. But it's probably an area that you're going to try and attack, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, if all goes well and I get the nod in there, I'll be looking forward to the challenge. You know, it's I like playing Australia. You know, I've kind of had good run outs. Had my first run out against them, so it'll be a nice challenge, and I'd be looking to get one over.
Okay, thanks, Cian, and good luck for the rest of the series.
Cheers, Quinny.